Hi everyone, welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons series, part 51. Last episode we went ahead on a village hunt for Pashmina and she's right now on our island. I wasn't able to show her in the last episode, but I have already gone ahead and time traveled to the next day, so we'll go ahead and get to see her. Now, I remember that in episode 48, we did complete the Mayday tour, but when we came to episode 49, I hadn't really moved the day to the next one, so we haven't yet seen the gifts from that. I think we'll have that in the mailbox today, so I'm pretty excited to go ahead and see what it is. Probably it will be a bunch of bell tickets, which I'm really hoping for. After all, I really need a lot of bells for this island, and I'm super excited to get some more. There we go, we have a present from Dodo Airlines, which I think is from the bell tickets. But the other one is actually a gift from Rover, which I think is super cool. Let me quickly get down and take a place to sit down somewhere, and we can open up the presents. Alright, there we go. I do have to say my island does look really cool when it actually rains, which is something I'm hoping to have on my island. Maybe once I do completely design everything, I'll go ahead and have the island have some rain, which it will look super cool. By the way, the present was definitely the bell ticket as well as Rover's suitcase, which is something that I will actually use on my house. As for now, I think we can go ahead and check out all of the villages here, just talk to them since it has been quite a few days. I definitely need most of these villages on my island, so I'm pretty excited to go ahead and just talk to them. There we go. Let me quickly go ahead and check out what we have in Resident Services building before we move on. As usual, I'm actually still trying to find out pine trees. This is an object that you'll only be able to find through Nook Stop, and I haven't really found it yet. It's so much difficult to actually find some of these items. I think cactus is one of them as well. Let's see if I can actually find it today. I've also been making sure that I do get the Nook miles. After all, I do need to collect quite a few before I can actually buy some stuff. There are a couple of items that I could really use from redeem Nook miles, such as the flower bed or the windmill and some other items. I think those are quite helpful for my island, so I definitely need to actually buy them. Anyway, I did make my way back home since I didn't have a change of outfit. But while making my way outside, it seems like we have a visitor. Let's see which villager has come to see our house. To be honest, I haven't really done any changes on this one. As you can see, all the items are just randomly placed. I definitely have to work on my house, but I think I'll do it in the near future. Today we have Ken here, which is pretty nice. I think this is the first time Ken is actually coming to our house, which means definitely his friendship level has been increasing. Let's go ahead and play a game with him before I move out. Alright, the card is number 8. I think the number will be lower, so I'll go ahead and select that option. After all, the only other number that could be higher is 9, and I feel like it's too difficult to get that one. Luckily, I was right and I was able to get the chef's outfit. There we go. I guess I'll go ahead and keep that in the storage since I don't really need it. Definitely I need to go ahead and sell all the bell tickets. But before that, let me visit the shop and see what items I have over there. I guess since my island looks super cool when it's raining, I should start calling it Rainforest Island. Definitely it does look like that once I have completely decorated my island. So maybe I will change the name of this one from village or forest theme to rainforest theme. Either way, we have a couple of items to buy here, so I'll go ahead and buy them. The first one is this pinball machine. This one's a pretty cool color. I think I'll be able to place it in a room in my house. There are a couple other arcade machines which I'm still trying to find. I think I have only one of them, There are 2 more that I need to get before I can actually set them. As for the bell tickets, I really did want to sell them, but unfortunately, I think I don't have enough space in my pocket and I might not be able to sell it. Ooh, okay. I am able to sell it, so that's good. The excess bells are in my pocket, so definitely need to go back and place some bells back into the ABD machine. Now I actually bought one, so I'll be able to actually deposit it right here. I also want to go ahead and visit Pashmina's house, which we'll go ahead and do it right now. Here we are. Her house is actually right next to the campsite, which is a really good place. And I'm definitely excited to see how her interior is gonna be. Right now, she hasn't really unpacked yet, so maybe once we do time travel to the next day, I'll be able to come back here and visit her house to see how it looks. I'm actually planning to decorate my island in this one, since the last 2 episodes I actually did some other activities like finding a villager as well as completing the Mayday tour. As much as I like doing things other than decorating my island, I still have to get back to this one. Before doing this, I just wanted to talk to Tom Nook, and I completely forgot about this dialogue where he says that we have completed the Mayday tour. So here we have that one. Very cool. I'm not really sure why I came here though. I just remember running back to Resident Services building and just talking to Tom Nook. Maybe I was actually trying to customize my house. After all, it has been quite a few days since I have not customized my house. I mean, I do like the current look of my house, but I'm kind of tired of the way it looks right now. So maybe I'll be able to make a bit more change and give it a different look, maybe a different color, and see how that goes. So here is the final design of my house. This time I went with a green roof to kind of go with the greenery around my island, and I think this will look good. Anyway, now that that's done, let's go ahead and start decorating the island. The first place I wanted to decorate is this one. This is a small area where it actually connects the Resident Services building to my shop. So I think I'll go ahead and do this one first. Now I did go ahead and speed this one up since as usual when you are decorating an island it is pretty slow. As for the design, I just want to have a pathway here. Mostly I'll go ahead and use the dark green pathway for this one because it looks super cool. And I don't want to cover it up completely since we do have a bridge that's going over. I also want to see if I can actually place an item in between. If it does kind of block the pathway, I'll remove the item. But I do have one which I think will work out very well here. I feel like I have been using the green path a lot here on the front side of the island, and I'm planning to kind of not use it in the back part of the island itself. I'll try to use the other 2 ones and see how that goes. But for now, let me go ahead and quickly apply this. Usually I'm not too worried about the size of each of these pathways. I do prefer a smaller pathway and not a larger design like this one here. But let's see how it actually works out. So right here I had to actually go out, so I did actually do all of this path offline. But as you can see, all I did was add the green path and add a couple of flowers around it. The next thing I did was plant another tree to kind of make it look a bit obscure. And I'll go ahead and add the item later once I do have all of these parts completed. There you go. Here is my second tree. I'm not really sure if it will fully grow. I think it might, so I'll wait for a bit more. I've also added a couple of stone pathways because I think it looks good. Maybe I'll be able to remove it and replace it with a couple of shrubs or with a couple of flowers. Now this one didn't really take me too much time. After all, it is a really small path and I didn't really have to use too many items. As for the main item right here, I went ahead and used the gong. This one I think is a really good item. It does not prevent me from going around too much and doesn't block the pathway. So I think I'll go ahead and place this one here. There we go. That's on that path. Now there's another part that I want to work in this episode. That is decorating the other side of this one. Now you might have seen me complete half part of this pathway, but I did leave the rest of them, which I'll go ahead and complete today. I'm not really sure what I will design in front of that log stairs over there, but at least this small pathway here, I'll go ahead and decorate it with the same path I used in the other side. I'm planning on using a couple of items here as well, just like the flower I actually planted over there. There's one more place I want to decorate after this one, so let's see if we can finish this as soon as possible. I think both the places where I decorated today were pretty small. The main reason for this is because I was not interested in decorating a huge part of the island. I just felt like I didn't really have a proper design for those, so I did have to actually wait. These small areas are much easier to design because you can just go ahead and use any item you have in the pocket, see how it works, and you can definitely change it up pretty easily. But I feel like that's not possible for the larger areas that you have, so I think this one is pretty good. There we go. That is all I'll be decorating for this one right now. In between right here, I found the message portal for today. So let's check out what the DIY recipe is. And it's a letter from Bill. We have the log pack. Not bad. I'm definitely trying to find all the recipes for the log series, and here's another new one. This one is a log backpack, and definitely it looks super cool. At some point I'll go ahead and craft it as well. This time I decided to come back, but as for decorating, I think I'll decorate this small area right here. This is the path that is actually leading up to the campsite itself, and I think I can actually start from here, and in the next episode I could go to the other side of the bridge and decorate over there as well. Well, as soon as I started decorating, I decided to use the green one. I do know I did say I will not use this, but it's actually really nice, and I think this pathway will look good with this path. Either way, I'll go ahead and fill this one up. Let's see how good it will look once I complete decorating. I decided to go ahead and add a couple of items as well. As you can see, there is the bamboo noodle slide, which I think I definitely have to move around. I'm also planning to add a couple of trees here. But I'm not really sure how many I can actually fit in this area. Initially I had plans of having trees in the border here, which would actually block the path, but I decided to go against it just because I have done it in so many places and I think it would look redundant. Plus, just not having any trees in this side which will actually block this cliff, I think it would actually look good without it. Alright, I'll also go ahead and add a couple of fences to make it look good. Right here I did go with the country fence, and I think this one looks good. You can also use any of the log fences or the lace fence, that would actually look nice as well. I also had the potted starter. This one I actually customized it to have flowers. I remember that there are other ones which will actually have different kinds of flowers or actual nursery plants, which I think is good. But I really like this purple flower. That's the reason why I went with this one. As for this log bench, I went ahead and put a path on it. I wasn't really sure what to do in the side of the cliff. As you can see, there is a row of emptiness and I wasn't really sure how to actually fill it. I could go with a couple of shrubs, but I didn't really want to block this path and have it accessible. So we have to see how it actually goes. Did try using a couple of fences here, but didn't really like the look of it, so I had to take it back. I'm also just checking out if there are any other item that I could use right here. This bamboo doll is a unique item and I really like it, but I'm not really sure if this is the space for it. I mean, I could definitely remove this pattern and just add a tree here, but I didn't really want to do that. So in the end, I went with the hedge. I also went ahead and tried to see if the hedge would actually look good, but that didn't work out either. This definitely happens when something doesn't work out with the design, and this was the main reason why I didn't want to design a whole area today, since I didn't really have a proper idea for it. But now that I do have this much covered, I think I'll go ahead and change it a bit in the future, see what item that I could actually use. Right here I did have to step back. There were a couple of items that I didn't have, especially the shrubs, so I had to go ahead and plant a couple. I have actually gone ahead and stored a couple of shrubs in my storage finally. I mean, before this I used to just run back to the Harvest Island each time I actually needed shrubs or flowers, but this time offline I did go ahead, buy a lot of them and stored everything in the storage. I think this actually makes it much easier. Either way, that's on that border of the cliff. I just went ahead and planted a lot of shrubs right there. I think this will actually look good. Right here I'm just trying to place the tiki torch, which is a really good item. I wasn't really sure if it would actually work out, but the tiki torch does definitely look better. I guess the only other things left to do right here is to wait for the tree to completely grow and see how this area will look. Especially the two hedges right there, I'm not really sure if that's something I want. So maybe offline I'll go ahead and try to find an item that will actually work out and see how it looks. Now that we have decorated that area, I just wanted to see if I could go ahead and plant a couple more shrubs at certain areas. Right here I decided to go ahead and plant a flower and a shrub. As for this small cliff, I'm still not sure what to use this for. This one's quite plain. I think I might actually try to add an item. Tried with this one. This item does not look good because it does block the house, which I definitely want to have in view. So I'll go ahead and remove it. I think I have a better place for it in the other side of the island. Initially I wanted to have the gazebo right here, but unfortunately there is not enough space as I do have that small pond. I did try in various areas but decided to go with this log stairs. If I keep the item right here, I don't think it will block the house that much, so this would actually be a good place. There we go. Let me actually go ahead and push it to the right position. Alright, I mean it is the same color as the log stairs, which is very helpful, but it will actually come in different colors based on which island it's generated on. Luckily for me, it actually came in the brown color, which I really like. I think you can actually customize it, but I'm not really sure. Maybe that's possible in Harvey's Island. It's something you can definitely try. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to do before I end out this episode is plant a bit more trees. As you can see, I did try planting 2 trees over there and none of it actually worked. In the end, I had to actually remove it and plant it somewhere else. There we go. I'll go ahead and plant another one, but I'll plant it up here. Definitely need to have a design for this one as well. I'm actually working on a decoration for the front of the museum and it's almost ready. Once I have it completed, I'll go ahead and create it in an episode for you all to see as well. Anyway, I think we did a lot of decorating in this episode and the only thing left for me to do is just completely plant all the shrubs I have in my pocket. I definitely have to visit Harvey's Island again, but I'll go ahead and plant all of these before I do so. Either way, that's all I had for today's episode. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same for all the other cliffs on my island, just to kind of stop any rocks from being generated in this part. After all, this cliff is really not accessible and the only way to kind of come here is through going to the back part. Definitely I don't want anyone to access this, So I'm just gonna avoid it by planting a lot of shrubs. I think I have a bit more in my storage, so let me actually go back and get all of them. Alright, here I am back and I have a couple more. Definitely a lot actually. I think I bought around 50 to 60 shrubs and these are the last of them. As you can see, I have around 30 of them still left in my pocket. To be honest, I still need a lot more. But I'm not gonna go ahead and buy anytime soon, at least until everything that I have in my pocket is completely empty. Even though it's last minute, I definitely want to decorate this campsite before I end out this episode. So let me quickly go ahead and decorate it right here. Alright, here we are. This is the pathway for my campsite. I think this one looks good. I also went ahead and added a couple of fences, flowers and outdoor items. Either way, I think that's all I had for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.